roundtable discussions, kind of like trying to figure out what's the best use of this land. I started to put together a team of designers. So they brought in D.R. Horn from DC, who does a lot of high-level project management stuff. And then they also brought in Modus Studios, Chris Barebow and that team, who I ended up becoming good friends with. And then Ecological Design Group to really kind of look at, how to, carefully curate the stream kind of water experience through the valley, and also do like stream stabilization and cool things like that. So that was, and then us, of course, and so that was the primary design team, because I had never worked with a team that was, that had that much skill and history and experience like that. So that was just an awesome learning experience for us to be a part of that. And our expertise was obviously trails, but their expertise was really spaces and experiences in those spaces. So it really made us look at trail in a different light. Prior to that, we were just building sweet mountain bike trail through the mountain bike lens. And with that team, we started thinking through, okay, how do you approach these different zones and areas? How do you make a start hub really cool and not just a mound of dirt? Hence the Peak One hub, which we designed with Modus, which was really cool. One of our kind of proudest little collab things that we did in this park. So that was just an awesome experience for us. Up to that point, there wasn't really any good downhill trails anywhere really in Northwest Arkansas. And I think the only downhill trail existed was in Slaughter Pen, which was just okay. So we had an opportunity there to do like a full kind of downhill bike park. We got to design, 5 different styles of trail, which was really cool. So I really wanted to see that progression from, this super beginner trail, which is the single track Oscars, to Fireline, to Cease and Desist, to the Rock Solid Trail, and then eventually the Rock Soft Trail. And they all just kind of vary in these different skill levels. So that was really cool to do. And also it was kind of groundbreaking for the area because there was no real advanced trails at that point, especially downhill jump trails. I mean, Cease and Desist and Fireline were the first jump trails in Oz, really. So that was cool to be a part of that. And then another side story on Cease and Desist is kind of cool is, that trail got its name because we started building it and we were building the jumps so big that, our client came out there with others and we're like, oh, no, this is insane. What are you doing? You're going to kill people. And so we got the cease and desist order to stop. And I essentially had to convince them that we needed a black jump trail. Like we needed a legit big jump trail. And, I use the example of going to a ski resort. You don't go to a ski resort and just see only blues and greens. Like you have to have that progression built in. And so they were like, all right, we're going to trust you on this one. Yeah. It worked out. And then I got to the idea of doing Drop the Hammer, and they thought I was completely insane. It's so cool to see that progression and to see, Peel Compton and Kohler take ownership of that and, push the envelope even more. Is just awesome. And it's just it's that connection to nature, and it's unique because it's right here in the middle of town. It's kind of like Bentonville Central Park. You really feel like you're out in the Ozarks, but you're literally a mile from downtown. So yeah, I think it's crucial.